What's going on YouTube? What's going on TikTok? It's your boy AMK Raw here, Amon. I'm in Washington, D.C. First thing I see is an obelisk as soon as I land. Um, I've never seen so many celestial people in my life. And sometimes I be wondering, if it's my own reality or is it me that's perceiving these things that is making it happen due to my shock or my fascination, you know what I'm saying? Or my imagination, right? Or Godfestation. There's birds literally flying. As you guys can see, I ain't got to turn my camera because I don't want this guy to think I'm recording him. But there's birds inside of the airport. So I figure I'd take this moment to share some news because if everybody hasn't noticed, you notice jobs are getting more hectic and it's getting more crazy. Google let go about 2,000 to 3,000 people. Sony has too. All these big corporations that everybody think is big, they're actually letting go of a lot of people because their system is crashing low key, and they're doing their best to advertise it and make it look like it's good and it's normal. It's not. If you're working too hard right now, you most likely are gonna get fired. If you're working too slow, they're probably gonna keep you. They do not want process or progress. The shit that I've been going through lately. So my job, I work at Sterilite Corporation. It's a plastic molding company, right? And basically, I had ended up they've been antagonizing me. It's like the third shift. The third shift. If anybody works the third shift, I'm pretty sure you guys know around 3 o'clock, chaos happens. And if you're a guy like me and you know it, they're gonna test you. They're gonna test you, and they don't like you at all, right? And then probably before 3 o'clock, they'll be buddy buddy with you. But it's all a setup and it's all an organization. Everybody's in groups. You got to watch out for these organizations. They're all a part of agenda. It's full of Freemasonries, witchcraft. These organizations, anything. You know how they say the freaks come out at night. It's so true. It's so true, right? And this is calling all the godlike beings and warriors and celestials who know, right? That the time is now, bro. We really don't have to keep supporting them. Everybody could just stop working right now if they really wanted to. And I know what most people are gonna say. Oh, he's on his bum shit, or you're a bum. No, I just let go and I'm disattaching from materialistic things that I have to maintain. Do you guys understand that your apartment is like something that your apartment, your house, right? What is it without you? Just like beauty. What is beauty if nobody can see it? Are you really beautiful? You get what I'm saying? So these are the things that I think people need to start waking up and tapping back into their power. Like we don't have to do this. You know what I'm saying? And them towers that are up, those things are definitely things to like just. I think it's causing us to not have free electricity. It's causing us to pay, right? We could probably charge up our own houses on some real shit. I was talking to my cousin, right? And well, when we talk, shit gets deep and it gets spiritual. Magic always happens. Do you know his hot water turned on not because of the system, not because of anything? It was him. You get what I mean? He was turning up. He was vibrating high, and his shit just turned on. Now he got hot water. You know what I mean? Regardless if the bill's being paid. There's some people who literally don't pay shit in this world right now, and they be going under just low key. Nothing happens, right? That's proof that it's not what y'all think it is, bro. I promise you. For some people, seeing is believing. For most people, believing is seeing, right? Because if you believe in it, it can exist, right? So back to my story. I work at Sterilite Corporation, and I had a female there. She's like a succubus, right? She loves when the men get angry. She loves when men talk trash to her. She'll start problems with you for no reason, and then she'll yell "brokey, brokey." Me, she had a whole nother thing coming. I cussed her out. I had to. I had to stand on business. Um, I was working hard. I came into my section. I didn't have nothing that I needed. The people before on the first shift, they're not supposed to leave you hectic. Now we work 12-hour shifts. They work 7 to 7 at night. I work 7 at night to 7 a.m. Right. So you got to try to keep up the whole time. You know what I'm saying? So basically slaving, right? So basically, I work really good. I work pretty hard, and I think they were trying to set me up like to show things that I'm just to try to show like if I could keep up, you know what I'm saying? Like testing me because I manage a lot more than what I'm supposed to, right? I basically help everybody. And that is a problem. They don't like that because it makes them look bad, right? So you have supervisors and then they have higher ups, right? And then they have higher ups and they have higher ups. It's like a pyramid scheme, right? Everybody's a Cronus in this world. If you don't know what Cronus is Zeus' father. He's basically someone who doesn't want to give up. He's Saturn. He doesn't want to give up his seat or his throne or give up his time, right? He fears of the prophecy of people waking up. This is also the person who's eating his children. You feel what I'm saying? So this is what they're doing. They're doing like they're literally releasing people for no reason. They don't have a purpose. They don't have a goal. They don't know why they do it, right? If everybody, I heard Billy Carson say something one time. He said, if everybody woke up and said, "Hey, Wednesday, we're not finna work," and notice as I'm saying, it's starting to thunder outside. It's been thundering and raining since I found out that Zeus is actually Satan and Jesus all in the same format, right? But he tries to make himself the Trinity, and that's why we have a problem. We don't understand who's the Father, the Son, or the Holy Spirit, right? And I know people are gonna be in the comments. They're gonna say the Father and the Son is Jesus, and Jesus is God. And um, when you ask them, you be like, "So who's God?" They be like, "Jesus." So it's just like, so I just I just try to wake up people while I explain these things, right? I don't prove thousands of times what the thunder is when I talk and I have my moments, right? So we get to a point where we wake up and we realize who we are and what we really can do. We can change lives. You know what I'm saying? We can change the world because it is our world. You know what I mean? And everybody needs to just step up and recognize that. You know what I'm saying? It's not no more about sides, color, and all that stuff. Even though the stuff is happening to us, and even though we make the stuff truly, you know what I'm saying? It's not about that no more. Are you really free? And that's something you should think about. Like, you have people who have these degrees. They're like, well, I got this degree and I got this and this and that, but are you free? You know what I'm saying? Oh, I got a degree in psychology. I got a degree in this and this and that. All right, but are you free? You know what I'm saying? A lot of people get their degrees and they just move on. They act different, right? And it's also Freemason. Everybody doesn't understand that, but there's levels to this shit. Just like college and Freemasons, there's no difference. They all have degrees that they have to work level. They have to level up to, right? And depending on that level, you're gonna see they're gonna have a total different persona and personality. These jobs are like summoning you and changing your soul. I'm telling you, taking your soul away. And when shit start fucking up, shit start crashing, those are the signs that show you need to get the fuck out of there. Some people just be like, oh, because I can afford it, it's it's not a problem. But yeah, it is a problem. You know what I'm saying? Most people who end up getting a lot more money than most people, they end up fat, they end up lazy, they end up careless. You know what I'm saying? They end up very selfish. We have to disattach from this stuff. We have to start burning this money because life should be free. Straight up. You should be free to travel where you want to go. You should be able to be freed enough to do whatever you want to do. And can't no man limit you. And when you realize it and you do it, you're gonna realize it ain't nothing but people just like you stopping you from doing the shit that you're supposed to be able to do. There is no God in the sky, there is no God in the bottom. It's you. It's just you. Inside and out. When you got an angel here, you got a devil here, right? What are they doing? Trying to pull you to make a decision. You're right in the middle, and that's what makes you divine. Basically, you got man-made time, and you have divine time, right? So when you think about man-made time, sorry about that, guys, but when you have divine time, right? Divine time means you're here because you need to be here, and you're here at the right timing. Man-made time means I can summon you to be here whenever I want you to be here. This is why courts call it a summoning, right? They summon you to come here, and you got to be there. Otherwise, you got to suffer consequences. But does that consequence exist from a god or a human? Something my cousin taught me: law, right? Land, air, and water. which are elements, right? And then we end up in elementary, right? Which is a penitentiary for elements, right? And then you got apartments, right? Which keeps you apart from your elements. You get what I'm saying? It keeps you inside. Y'all filled up with radiation when it comes to the Wi-Fi and the data. You know what I mean? The towers sending weird ass signals to make weird ass trends. So for example, this one man versus gorilla, they put it in a tower. Now everybody talking about it. They put it's water wet, right? Now everybody talking about it. It's just trends that come out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? And the majority of the people don't understand where these things come from, and that's why I try to break things down in my videos so you guys understand. Like, no, you're not crazy for what you thought in the back of your subconscious. I bring that shit forward, straight to the front head, straight here. A lot of people need to start working on their chakras. Since I've been doing this, it's been nothing but chaos. But it's a beautiful chaos because it's a disattachment. What you do not want to have in your world, you do not have to have, right? So you work on your root chakra, right? Your root chakra is kind of like that level that's underneath your phallus, right? And if you don't know what a phallus is your penis, but we don't call it a dick and all that stuff because there's names to that, like Richard and all that other stuff, right? But you work on your root chakra, right, which is grounding, right? And then you work on your sacred chakra. You know how you say that's my private part or my private area. Your sacred part is your actual phallus, right? And then you work on your solar plexus, which is your above your navel, which is your diet, the way you eat. You know what I mean? What you consume. That's what keeps you balanced. Your solar plexus is like right here, and then you have the heart chakra, right? The heart chakra is going to describe if you're really a loving and giving person and you're really true behind it. It's like the true intent behind what you do, the receipt, the proof. You know what I'm saying? And it's also a vortex to open up worlds. You could literally go through any world depending on what beat you're dancing to, right? Because the heart has beats per minute, right? Just like a tempo. Boom, 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 boom. How you gonna dance with the beat, right? Then you have your throat chakra, right? Your throat chakra means like there's a lot of things that you have to step up and say. You can't just let anybody walk down on you. These are what jobs do. You get what I mean? Jobs make you block all of that. It's nothing but temptation, sexualness going on in the building. Everybody fucking with each other. You get what I'm saying? Everybody shitting on each other. And one person stands up to one of them, you got to go against all of them. And this is why organizations are being built instead of um, communities and unity. You have organizations. So that means crime is organized, trafficking is organized. All these things are organized, right? And if somebody wakes up and starts disarranging that organization, you think you're dealing with one, you're dealing with 1,000. You think you're dealing with 1,000, you're dealing with 2 million. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of people in here who've been doing this stuff and benefiting off of it. Like your L's. Like I was telling my cousin before I get to the third chakra, right? I was telling my cousin, like, you got to be careful with how people try to overpower you. Like, you ever meet a guy and he shakes your hand and he like tries to overpower you, like just to feel like he's dominating you. He's taking power over you. It seems small, but it's really bigger than what you think. It's actually a power shift. And if you do not squeeze back or you do not tighten or get a grip, as they say, then you know what I mean? Someone's technically dominating you and he walks off, that's it. You got to figure out how to gain that power. So you go try to overpower somebody else, and people don't know why the cycles continue. You see what I'm saying? So third chakra, right? When you see shit like that, you start seeing behind the essence of what they're doing. You know what I mean? You're starting to understand exactly why they do what they do, and you're gonna call it out. This is where the throat chakra and the third eye starts connecting, right? Then you have your crown chakra, right? Because now you're gonna stand on business. You're gonna sit on it, right? You put the crown on your head. Heavy is he who wears the crown, right? So if you standing on business, you get what I mean? After that, can't nobody. You're God. You know what I mean? Remember, God is a title, right? So it's all about divinity. It's all about reaching divinity. That's what we're here for. And there's no steps that teaches you that. But there's organizations who control that. And I just think everybody needs to just start waking up and like stop working for someone who's just like you. You know what I mean? The harder you work to eat, the more somebody kicks their feet up. That's just the truth. The more days you take on, the more vacations they get. You know what I'm saying? You're missing out time with your kids. You're missing out time with your friends. You know what I mean? You're missing out on the biggest thing that's gonna make you, and you wonder why nobody believes in you. You working just like them. You know what I mean? And some of them are part of that organizations to make sure that you work it just like them. You know what I mean? Think about SSI and the people who don't have to work, right? They love seeing people who work because they know that they're gonna get paid. As long as somebody's working, they get paid. You feel me? So I ain't trying to make this video too long, right? Because I'm gonna start doing more lectures of these videos, but I figured I'd just share that while I'm here. First thing I saw when I landed in Washington D.C., I saw an obelisk, right? And an obelisk is something that was in Egypt, right? It's just amazing how that's here, right? We got pyramids here and all too, right? So you guys got to wake up and understand, like this is the time that we're living in, bro. We're in the ninth years of completion. You feel what I'm saying? If you add it up and sum it up, it's this is where we're at with it. There's six, there's nines, there's four, there's three. We're all a part of a whole a light code grid. You know what I'm saying? From 3 to 6 to 9, and the numbers in between. If you add up your birthday, you can understand what your soul path is. If you add up your the vowels, yeah, the A, E, I, O, U. You add those, and sometimes Y. You add those up, right? That's your soul urge number from your first and your last name, right? And then you understand that's your destiny and what you do with that destiny, right? Like for example, I was born 19. I was born 9/18/1995, right? Which equals 2022. 2022 is when I woke up, like on a whole nother level. I had woke up. I literally brought my divinity 100% here. People were giving me offerings. All types of crazy shit was just happening, right? Anything I wanted done, anything. It wasn't no more about my perception. It was more about my vision. You know what I'm saying? And I think everybody should be able to experience that and tap into that. And that's what I'm working on to make sure you understand that there's a lot that comes to what you are. You're magical. You just have to start seeing it that way. The brain sees everything how it's supposed to, but the eyes, you look it up, we're flipped upside down. Our perception is flipped. So what is good is technically bad. This is why people think working and slaving is something that God would want them to do. That's, of course, an invisible God will want you to do that. There's nothing to come to. There's no source to really come back to. You are the source. You're the battery that gets everything going on. Everything wants your belief. Everything wants your love. Y'all hear the quote, you can't love somebody unless you love yourself. You can't care about somebody unless you care about yourself. You feel what I'm saying? You can't fight unless you fight for yourself, right? Otherwise, you get bullied. This is what life teaches you. It's all about you. Everybody is in there. Everybody is one, a part of ones. You feel what I'm saying? Even though we got different numbers, different colors, different shape, different sizes, we're all a part of one. You feel what I'm saying? And everybody comes to this consciousness. This whole system breaks down. It all breaks down. It all comes crumbling. I've seen it. I've seen it multiple times. I know where worlds are where they're just full of love and compassion and happiness. You know what I mean? It does exist. But are you going to bring it here? So that's all we got for today. Y'all know on my TikTok is AMK Ra Amun, right? As Amun as the national deity of all gods, right? And you guys should check out my shit. I tell you about real stuff in the timeline of it really happening, the proof and everything. I always have receipts about stuff that goes on. So, you know what I mean? Check my channel out, hit me up, stay watchful, protect yourself, you know what I mean? Trust in your ancestors, because that's what we always knew before all this God shit happened. We knew that our ancestors walked with us. Don't sit here and wait to see your loved ones after you die. Walk with them and see them while you're here too. You know what I'm saying? Connect spirituality with humanity. That's what it's all about. Peace, I say. Much love.